Other blame a lack of exercise for a stroke. Exercise is good, but if that does not mean that if you don't exercise, you're going to have a stroke. It again, there are all kinds of things that you need to know so that you'll be able to understand why a person has stroke. Okay? The reason a person has a stroke is a lack of copper. Hear me out, a lack of copper. And the reason we are saying this so forcefully is that we have reverse strokes. Symptometries have reverse strokes every time, an anomaly that physicians cannot reverse. We can reverse stroke. You don't have to go to the doctor. Symptometry signs will reverse stroke. There's nothing we can do. If you have the stroke and you come to us, we will reverse it. Okay? We've seen a lot of people that have suffered stroke, and all that we could do is to shake our head, but we look no further because we have the solution. In symptometry, when there's a problem, we have the solution. We have the knowledge to help you understand why you have it. Once you understand why you have a stroke, then you can prepare yourself to make sure that you do not encounter a stroke. So the question is, look no further than copper for people wanting to know every stroke source. Will every person have a stroke? No. Billions of people will never have a stroke. But stroke is about the liver, the alpha globulin, moving copper and ascorbate into different joints for flexion and flexibility and motion. Why copper? Copper is one of the minerals that activate enzymes. Also, it's an excellent conductor of electricity. All joints might have copper for flexibility and mobility. Without a loss of physium set in stiffness, it takes over and the joint is worthless. Also remember, copper is the first mineral to leave the body once a person dies, causing inflexibility and a loss of mobility and response to the joint. This is how copper is. So the word you need to remember is copper. Okay? Where do we find copper? Somebody would say, well, okay, where's copper? Well, copper is found in all nuts. All the nut that you eat has copper in them. All seeds, all butter, all coconut, apples, papaya, ginger, garlic, olive oil, barley. Here's a question. Why is copper in the blood but not in the nerves or joints or arteries? The answer is simple. There's nothing to move it from blood to the joints. There's nothing to move it from the blood to the joints. Why is copper in the blood but not in the nerves, the joints, and the arteries? The question is, there's nothing to move it from the blood to the joints. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is fibrosis. It means the destruction of fibrin, allowing the blood clot to unravel or dissolve, ending embolism or thrombosis. Fibrin is the protein mesh that holds the clot together, and dissolving it ends the clot. Copper and ascorbate are the clot's enemies, but they cannot move unless the liver produces alpha globulin to move both. They cannot move because they are inert substances, meaning that they are full of inertia, lack of motion. How is protein digested? We eat leaf protein, cheese protein, meat protein, fish protein, and nut protein. But how is it the protein digested and reduced to peptides, amino acid, and globulin for motion. First of all, we must produce pepsin and protease. And the pancreas must produce uh, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptase and trypsin and elastase. After the stomach and pancreas produce these six enzymes, the liver obtains them to convert protein into globulins. Alpha and beta globulins transport the copper, vitamins, like a train transporting goods from one place to the other. The liver leaves the conversion of peptides and amino acid to other mechanisms. It is only interested in the production of alpha, beta, and gamma globulins. This is how conversion and transportation are done in the human body. People who eat nuts and other food have copper in their blood. And expect copper to move? No, copper never move to serve us any good. Just us any good. Copper is a conductor of electricity. It must be transferred to the joints. It's alpha globulin and not produced to move it. The joint that does not have copper and is carbonate will become stiff and lose its flexibility. Physics apply to the human body, and physics is motion. Why should physics law be broken? Its medical science does not teach physics as it applies to copper and other minerals and vitamins. Symptometry science is teaching it right now. We discussed copper and the lack of motion. What about the cooking oils? Preservative in the cooking oil? Focusing on saturated and unsaturated fat completely misses the point regarding cooking oil. Cooking oil, sold to the public, olive oil, canola oil, safflower oil, vegetable oil, corn oil, soy oil, must have BHA and BHT as a preservative. They must have, the oil should have the BHA and BHT as a preservative. These preservatives are inner substances, meaning they will not budge when they settle, which is against the law of motion. Are people aware that preservatives don't budge? I guess not. Here is the stroke sufferer's double problem. Copper won't budge, and with the discarbonate and water and preservative won't budge. These are two mighty problems that the stroke sufferer must solve to reverse the stroke. Can they solve these problems? Not if they are with physicians. But if you come to symptometry, we can solve it for you. We will help you reverse that situation for you. People have eaten food cooked in all kinds of oil in defiance of the law of motion. And when they have a stroke, they wonder how they got it. They should stop wondering. Because remember, you ate the food, not anybody else. You are responsible for your health. It's what goes into your body determine how long you live on this earth. Okay? Copper must move, but water will never move it. Only alpha globulins can move copper, and only the liver can produce alpha globulins after specific condition has been met. Are stroke sufferers aware of these facts about motion in the human body? Are they aware about how copper has to be moved? Are they aware that they broke the law of motion in their own body? They don't know that. They will say, oh, somebody did this. No, you broke the law of motion. And you are responsible for your health. So you need to face up to that. Okay? After suffering a stroke, where do people go next? We pray to God. My advice is to leave God out of the human business because God knows what you're doing, but it's you who are causing the problem. Okay? The Creator provided us with the brain where we are not using. How do you want Him to help us? The Creator never rescues those who don't use their brain. We are on our own. What should be the next step after praying to God? Physical or occupational therapy? That is that when you get a stroke, the first thing they send you to P physical therapy, PT. They call it PT. Really. What is PT going to do for us? Okay? This is the scenario where the blind is leading the blind. Physical or occupational therapy has never ended a stroke. As a matter of fact, I've known some people who had a stroke and they were sent to occupational therapy and they died. They died from the stroke. Because the root cause of the problem that we talk about, moving of the copper and all that, it's not done. What is the occupational therapist going to help you with that? That is an issue in your body that you need to, the liver need, we need to help you so that you be able to have the liver producing what it needs to produce so that you be able to reverse the scenario. Okay, so let's talk about the downside of medical science. Okay, we're not proving medical science has nothing to the human race, nor has anything done for the 5,000 years it's been in existence. What is the science behind a stroke? What is the science behind the stroke? Surgery is excellent, but they do leave the person with inner substances which you have in your body, and that inner substance had to be moved in the person, or they do remove them. They leave them in the person. The inner substance after surgery is left in the person. And anyone who underwent surgery have to remove the inner substance. Without the expertise to remove them and continue to have an itch and experience the swelling pain, inflammation, and dirty blood. Medical science never mentioned copper, discorbate, liver, or alpha globulin. Symptometry science is teaching you what you need to do when you have a stroke. It's not going to the occupational therapy. It's finding out how you can move the copper, how you can have your liver transport that so you be able to reverse the stroke. That's the only way you can reverse it. So this is what we're sharing with you today. Okay. So let's read about all the articles in the journals, and you will never see what we just discussed. We mentioned copper because um, the doctor studied food science. They can't discuss it because they don't study food science, and symptometry has food science in the curriculum. We also use first class knowledge to reverse his mother stroke. And today, all these people are walking without a cane. And the people are in their 70s and 80s and they suffered a stroke and they are back to normal. One of them is 82 years old and she is doing great. It is important to remember the law of physics, which is motion, applied to the human body. Regrettably, this is not taught in medical schools. It took symptometry over 33 years to lay the foundation of symptometry science, and today we are sharing it with the world. Again, you heard the statistics. Every 4 minutes, somebody suffers a stroke, and is the fifth leading cause of death in the United States. But when you get a stroke, what do? You go back to the doctor, and they send you to occupational therapists. They don't talk about the copper. They don't talk about your liver that needs to be in motion, that needs to be looked at. No, they send you to a place where eventually you're going to die. Symptometry science do have the knowledge to reverse the stroke. Any stroke, as soon as you get the situation that you have a stroke, call us and we will help you with it. But remember, the person who has a stroke has to have the mind to say he want the stroke to be reversed. They need to be producing the neurotransmitters and the neuron to say, I want this. I can beat this. I'm not going to die from this because the knowledge is here to be shared. But if you run to the doctor and they send you to occupational therapy, you are going to eventually become disabled or die. I've seen so many people who have had strokes that have died because they did not utilize the knowledge that we just shared with you about the copper, emotion, about the liver, the alpha globulins, and all that. Nobody shared that with you. So once you have the knowledge, and you know of somebody who is going to get a stroke every 4 minutes, somebody get a stroke in the United States. So you're gonna find a family member. We're here to share the knowledge that you don't have to die from stroke. We can reverse the stroke because we do have the knowledge and the solution. So don't let stroke kill you. Get more knowledge. Um, Enroll the American School of Symptometry. Learn about our program. We do have that program to help you understand why people get strokes. It's not something, if you understand it and you know of a family member that gets stroke, recommend them to American School of Symptometry and we will help them. So, Brother Saheed, that is the statistics. Every 4 minutes, somebody dies of a stroke. Every 4 minutes in the United States. And they don't understand how they got it. And when they do, they send them to occupational therapy instead of sharing or coming to St. to have it reversed.
Absolutely. Amazing. Absolutely amazing, Ms. Rita. That's fantastic information. We're going to take a short break, then we're going to come back and see if any participant on the line, do they have any question for you? Any
Okay.
comment about their own situation or family
Mhm.
member that they know what happened
Exactly.
to them.
Hmm.
I'd like to hear about that. So
Yes, they like to share the story. They need to share with us. Thank you.
absolutely. So we'll be right back. So please do not go anywhere, brothers and sisters. If you have the link, send it to somebody that you love, send somebody that you want to come on and share this information. We have a lot more information to share about health and where health comes from. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Maxwell Narleton, inventor of symptometry and symptomatic science. Many of you may not have heard of symptometry because it appears to be new. Unfortunately, new does not mean untested. Symptometry has been around for 32 years, since 1991. During these 32 years, I had to conduct several experiments. I had to test the precepts and the concepts of symptometry and symptomatic science. After 32 years of testing, the results are in. The results are excellent. This is why you are hearing about symptometry and symptomatic science now. I invented symptometry and symptomatic science for a reason. What is this reason? The reason is medical science, nutrition, Chinese traditional medicine, acupuncture, chiropractic, Ayurveda, and herbalism created a gaping hole, a large and deep vacuum, bottomless vacuum that had to be filled. This is why I created symptometry and symptomatic science. We are not here just to fool around. We are here to fill a deep vacuum. How did they create this vacuum? How? I will tell you why. They created this vacuum by focusing on the word disease. Disease. Disease comes from the Greek word pathos. P-A-T-H-O-S, pathos. Pathos give us pathology. And pathology tells you nothing about how a disease started. Pathology tells you absolutely nothing about how a symptom starts. This is what is wrong with pathology. Pathology is good to study cadavers, it's good to practice surgery and know where the organs are located. That is what pathology is all about.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. You're with Abdul Shaheed and our guest, Mrs. Rita Teller. We both are certified symptometry health coaches at the American School of Symptometry, and we both are still students there. Mrs. Rita, our guest, is in the doctorate program at the American School of Symptometry and qualified for the master program in cellular health, specializing in pregnancy management, how to have a healthy baby with all the parts and everything functioning properly. Absolutely amazing. You can become a student also at the American School of Symptometry to get more advanced knowledge on how to take care of our own body and become more valuable to yourself and your family. So check it out. Go to the website, amsos.org, and learn how to become a student. So medical science won't keep pulling the wool over our eyes. So, Ms. Rita, we're going to see if anybody have any questions about strokes, if they had any bad experience about stroke. The person do not have to live with their arm, their elbow locked, dragging their feet, all these things. They can get their normal movement back. You explained that copper is the element for movement. It is also an excellent conductor of electrical energy.
Amen.
Our cell must use energy. It is energy dependent. We all are energy dependent, brothers and sisters. If we lose energy, we have to do something about it, because once we lose it all, we can't do anything. That's when we make our transition and we die. We're not sitting here to die. We're sitting here to live and make a difference on this planet. But since we don't know anything about our health and how to get it back, we die too soon by a disease. If you die, you don't have to die from a disease. A disease can be reversed. The Almighty put everything inside of each and every one of us to do it. We have to learn how these things function and how they work. And that's why we're talking about strokes today. They can be reversed. And the person can get that normalcy back and learn how to live on this planet from that point forward. Nobody have taught them. They've taken their cells for granted, and we think we can eat anything, and when we don't have the enzyme to digest those things. So if you have a question for our guests about strokes and how a person got the stroke, what happened, do you have a relative that's still dragging their feet? They can't move their arm. They're paralyzed on one side or the other. It doesn't have to be like that. And they send you to physical therapy. What can physical therapy do about calcification in the cell? Nothing. You'll be stuck there in that position. You don't have to be that way. You don't have to die from the stroke. We have to learn why we had the stroke in the first place. So anyone have a question for our guest before she has to leave? Now's the time.
And also, let me share with you. You don't have to be in a wheelchair. You don't have to have a walker. You don't. You know what? When you reverse your condition, you're back to normal, walking without an assistance. And in symptometry, moving is everything. Motion. You
Everything.
have to. It's everything. You need to move. You cannot be walking with a walker and all this stuff because you didn't know it. Now that we have the knowledge that the problem that you have can be reversed, and we talk
We have
about
a
the.
hand raised.
Okay.
A person with a question or comment.
Thank you.
Sister Hadia, salam alaikum. You can unmute yourself and ask your question or make your comment. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I didn't have a stroke, but my body had become stiff. I'm not sure if it's not my joints. It's just my ability to move, to walk, to stretch. And I'm taking the class. You know, I walk several miles. You know, I'm not eating the food that my core stiffness. Like I don't eat any nuts. My oil, our food is cooked only in canola oil, Western canola oil. You know, I'm cooking my meats, you know, according to cytometry, and cooking my vegetables. But just recently, the stiffness is spreading.
Well,
yes. Ms. Rita, you want to address that?
Well, it's spreading because you do have an issue there that needs to be reversed. I mean, you are missing an enzyme that you need to have in your body, and you don't have that. And I think that is something that your coach should be able to help you get that back, because that attention you have should not be there, because we do have the muscle protein that you can take and help you with that. So please don't let that deter you. Talk to your coach and make sure that we can help you with the reversal, because you are in the right place and we have the knowledge to help you reverse what you're going through right now. Brother Saheed, what about you? You can ask something.
Yes. The information that you shared about the stroke, that article, what caused the stroke? Sister Hadia, I suggest that you read that. Copper is very important. It gives us our flexibility. That is the first element that leaves the body when the person dies. And this is why the person becomes stiff. This is why rigor mortis sets in after the person dies. Copper leaving the body. So copper has to be circulated through all of the joints, through all of the blood vessels, everywhere. So something is blocking or preventing copper from moving. And Ms. Rita stated that our liver must produce alpha globulins, beta globulin, and gamma globulin in order to move copper. These are the pushers, the movers that our cell must produce. It's a good possibility you're not producing those alpha, beta, and gamma globulins. Sometimes it can help you to do that. So they will be circulated everywhere, so you won't have the stiffness. Our cell must produce also the muscle protein, all 22 of them. There's titin, there's elastin, all these, they're for flexibility, for endurance, and for elasticity. As we age, things stop working properly because things began to break down. Now we have to put forth the effort to keep these things moving. And we're made of collagen. You could be losing collagen. Collagen is the foundation of our whole body. Everything is made out of it. Even our enzyme made from collagen, our DNA, RNA made of collagen, with collagenate fiber, human fiber, not plant fiber. There could be something in your environment, something in the ecosystem there where you are that's have contaminated cells that would compromise some cells. They have to be ionized, removed, liquefied. Could be heavy metal. Could be something in the water, could be something in the air. On planet Earth, brothers and sisters, we're exposed to things every day. Health is a day-by-day issue, week by week, month by month. And then something happened again to you. You have to know what to do within 24 hours to put things back to normalcy. This is where knowledge comes in. It's not going to just go away and disappear. The body is telling you something. That's what the symptom is about. That symptom of stiffness, the cells are telling you that they need our help. So we have to give them the help that they need. It's always about an enzyme. It's always about something being blocked. That's calcification, that inert substance in the air, in the food, in the water we drink. There's something blocking something. That's inertia. Inertia is like a movement. Because we live on planet Earth, inertia was the first force in the creation, the first force. There was no movement. It was motionlessness. And inertia is always trying to reclaim its territory. And we have to keep pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. It will cause us to become stiff because inertia is not moving. So we have inert substance in everything. And we could be exposed to something that have an inert substance that will cause us to have inertia. And the blood is not moving with speed. Many cells will not be nourished if that doesn't happen. If that happens, many cells will not be nourished. If the cells do not have the nutrients and resources, they're going to become calcified. That means no oxygen will be able to get into them. So we have to remove the calcification. So periodically, we have to use the particulates and the molecule to nourish our cell properly. Use the particulate to remove the inert substance. That's the only tool that we have that can do it. We can exercise, but that is not health.
Okay.
We can walk a mile, 5 miles, 10 miles. That is not health.
Because
so what a course I just took was that was to ionize blunt heavy metal in the body. Now,
yes.
Now I took that course of tablets. Now is that interfering with ionizing or interfering with my use of copper?
No, because there will be toxic metal that will be in the way. These toxic metal are different from what copper is. Our cells need copper. Copper is the enzyme activator, but if it's not moving, it won't activate the enzyme. And without enzyme, nothing happens.
Exactly. And sister, to add to the point, you're doing everything right, you're cooking scientifically, but if you're missing the copper piece, you're going to have that, the stiffness. Too. And then so you really need to go to the next step, talk to your coach and make sure that you have consultation with the doctor to let them know, because just because you're cooking right and doing everything doesn't mean that if you don't have the enzyme, you don't have the copper, nothing is going to happen. You need to fix that first. That needs to be fixed. And that is something that you need to really make it a priority to talk to whoever is coaching you to make sure that you do have that, so that you can add it to your drugs.
Regimen. Okay, so brother Shaheed, we can work on that.
Yes, ma'am. We'll contact you, and you can contact us, and we'll set up a consultation with Dr. Norton and get you what you need.
Exactly. And you'll be pleased because you'll see a difference.
We're having to do the same thing because we live on planet Earth. We don't get to a point where we stop. We have to always want to be healthy. There's things that we have to do every day. Health is a day-by-day situation. It's a journey. It's not a destination. You get there and it's over. No, it's every day something we're being exposed to. Something will be affecting us. Something somewhere. Our house is breaking down. There's element in our house. There's formaldehyde in the material that make up our home. The paint is disintegrating. It's breaking down. Everything breaks down. And then we're in the house. And these things we're inhaling. Could be a fungus. It's always something that we have to learn to deal with. That's why we have particulates to ionize periodically to keep things moving with speed inside of us. We have to always be replacing the collagen that we made up. Weird things start happening and we're losing collagen. And energy is in collagen. We'll be losing energy. Cell will not have enough. So we'll get together with you. We thank you for your comments and also for your question.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, you're in the right place.
Absolutely.
So he will make sure that it is corrected.
Anyone else have a question for our guest before she has to leave? Mrs. Rita Taylor, certified symptometry health coach, and also in the doctorate program at the American School of Symptometry. She's been talking about what causes stroke. People have strokes all the time.
You do. Every
hand raised. McDonald, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, hi. Real quick, I joined late at the invitation of my uncle to listen in. I've had 3 strokes. I'm 47.
Wow.
I've had 3 strokes and 1 TIA. And all of my strokes they all are undetermined of the cause. So they believe I've had like a blood clot that probably broke off, but they have not been able to give me like a definitive answer.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, I mean, just in general, maybe is there something I should look at or something that I probably research or
Well, you can do all the research, but you have a reason why it's coming back 3 times. There's something in your body that needs to be reversed. You don't have copper, you don't have that, and the doctors don't know that. That's the reason for 3 times they haven't been able to tell you. Symptometry science, we do have the solution. We do know that you don't have the copper, and your doctor will not tell you that. So I am really implore you that you don't want to be a statistics. Now that we have knowledge, you can help yourself at the age of 47 to live longer by coming in to make sure that you do have the copper in your body and you're not. And your liver is also taken care of. There's so many things that doctors won't tell you.
Okay.
And that's what we're here for. So if Brother Saheed is your coach, please make consultation with him and let's get to the point. Why should a 47-year-old lady have 3 strokes? Okay?
Yeah.
You are missing some things in your body and we can reverse it for you.
Okay.
There's always a reason. The doctor may not know. Your doctor, they don't study the cells. They don't study food science. They may have 1 hour of nutrition. That's not enough. It's something you've been exposed to. You can have copper in the blood, but it doesn't mean that it's moving in the joints, in the muscle. And you could be losing muscle protein. There are 22 muscle protein that we've studied at the American School of Symptometry. If you're not able to replace the muscle protein, you're going to have a stroke somewhere. The arteries, the veins, the capillary could collapse. They're made of muscle protein. Your heart is made of muscles. It's all muscle. If you're not replacing the heart, it becomes weaker. The lungs, in order for it to contract and expand, is made of muscle protein, collagen. You could be losing it for some reason. If you're losing collagen, you're losing energy, and then things are not normal. Or you're cooking with the right oil. Do you use salt in your cooking? Or you cook without salt? These questions you have to answer. They're very important. And you can get with us. I'll give you my contact information before the program is over. And then we'll set up a consultation with Dr. Maxwell Norton. You need to work with a health coach so you can analyze the food that you're eating. We can analyze the fruits. If you eat fruits, all fruits are not the same. You can live without fruits. Do you understand what fruits really are? Your doctor won't tell you these things. Oh, you eat your fruits and vegetables. What fruit? What vegetable?
Do they know what's in there?
You might not be producing enzyme to digest the fruit, to digest the vegetable. You need to find that out.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, great. Well, thank you.
Well,
thank you so very much, and thank you for asking that question.
I'm glad you have the courage to come to the show and ask this question, and that's what we're here for, to educate, to have people know that we don't, as African Americans, we don't have to die at the age of 40. We don't have to die because we don't know what's going on. We have the solution. We can reverse the stroke and become healthier as you move on, okay? But everything else, sister, it has to come from you. There's going to be heavy lifting that you have to do. But if you want to be stroke free, I recommend that you do take the advice and work on it. Okay, so
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
you.
very much.
Okay, thank you.
We are sick because we make mistakes, brothers and sisters, in our food choice. What we drink for water. Are we drinking the right amount of water? Are we drinking the right kind of water? Are we drinking water with electrolytes? Are we drinking water with high pH or the proper pH? We don't know in most cases. So there's no reason why a person should have 3 strokes and they're not even 50 years old. It's something
Exactly.
wrong. Something needs to be corrected.
Something is
And
wrong.
that's what symptometry does. It goes to the source.
Yes.
We ask the right question. This person being exposed to something that's inert substance that's in the person's body that's blocking things. It needs to be removed. The only way to remove it is to use subatomic particle called particulates. And they've been licensed in the United States since 1938. And most people have never heard of particulates. They're inscribed in the federal law that you can use them. And no one has ever told us this.
FDA approved.
And drugs have inert substance, meaning they have things that will stop motion, movement. Then we'll be going against the laws of physics. If we violate the laws of physics, we're going to have a stroke. We're going to have all kinds of other disease. We're going to have a heart problem. We're going to have palpitation. We're going to have congestion in our SA node. We're going to have all kinds of problems. We're going to have breathing problems when we go against natural laws, when we go against motion. We must keep everything under our skin moving at the speed of light. Anything slows down our blood, our cell will not receive the nutrients and resources. Must be speed there. Not only movement, must move with speed. Is that happening under your skin? No, you don't know. Things are happening. We've been exposed to things. Chemical, additive, preservative in the food that you're eating could cause a stroke. How you heat up your food when you take it out of the refrigerator. You put it in the microwave, could cause a stroke because you have allergens everywhere. Microbes everywhere, in the refrigerator even. We think we're safe. We're not. We have to have the knowledge. And that's what symptometry is all about. It teaches us the knowledge of how to live on this planet, how to select our food scientifically, and how to go to the source of our problem and remove the source and take care of the needs of our cell and repair our DNA, repair our RNA, so communication can be restored at the cellular level. No doctor, no medical doctor will help you to do that. None. They don't exist.
There you go. Well, if I leave you with anything else, don't die of a stroke. We have the solution. The reason you're missing copper in your body, your liver, it needs some fun. It needs to be worked on. That's, the doctors won't tell you that. But we do have that solution, and we want you to live longer. Live longer. So please take care of your body, take care of it, and talk to Brother Saheed, and just have some coaching from him, and also consultation, so that we can help you live longer, not shorter.
Absolutely.
And the statistics doesn't bode well for us, because we die from stroke than the Caucasian population. So please, let's do something, and I'm delighted to share this information, and hopefully people will be enlightened for them to take care of themselves. Brother Saheed, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so very much for joining us today, Mrs. Rita Taylor.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Symptometry Health Coach at the American School of Symptometry. Thank you.
You will see you next week. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Here you have our guest, brothers and sisters, Mrs. Rita Taylor. She talked about what causes stroke. And people think it's the oil they cook with. It's the high blood pressure. High blood pressure does not cause stroke. I don't care what your doctor say. I'm telling you the truth. It's not about high blood pressure. The person is becoming stiff and the body won't move without copper. Now, what doctor can tell you that? What medical doctor know about copper? For flexibility, for movement. So you're not becoming stiff. We have to keep it circulating. Something is blocking it. It won't move on its own because it's an element. And it's a great conductor of electricity. It also activates enzyme. After you produce the enzyme must be activated. Copper is one of those activators. There's so much information we need to learn about our own body, how it functions, and what we can do to help ourselves and stop ignoring them and thinking the doctor is going to cure us when they're not. They can't cure anything, especially with drugs and pharmaceuticals and vaccine. They have inert substance that cause motion to be blocked. They impede the circulation of oxygen in the blood. That's why everyone has side effects. So we'll be talking more about that. We're going to take a short break, brothers and sisters, so please do not go anywhere. Take a moment to call someone, share the link with them, give them the number to connect with us so they also can participate. They may have a question, and they may learn something that can help improve their health and put them back in charge. We're in charge of our health, brothers and sisters. It's a reward that comes from ourselves for us learning how to take care of them, giving them what they need. They can reverse any condition. There's no incurable disease. It's up to the person that has it. That person will determine whether it's a reverse or irreversible. The person who has the condition, the disease. And that's how it's supposed to be. Not your doctor. Health and disease starts in the person's mind. It's a mindset. Because the mind makes all of our decisions. But it needs a healthy brain to be able to do that. How do we have a healthy brain? How to produce a healthy brain? You can't have a healthy brain without a healthy liver. How do we have a healthy liver? Making sure it's producing all of the resources for a healthy brain. Absolutely amazing. Brothers and sisters, we're going to take a short break, so please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're with Abdul Shaheed, your certified symptometry health coach. We'll be right back. Thank you.
After 30 years of research, the results are in. Consumption of certain foods can be harmful to your physical and mental health. When diagnosed with a terminal illness and given a low chance of survival, Dr. Maxwell Nardi had a deep feeling that food had caused cirrhosis of his liver. When no cure was available through medication, after years of extensive laboratory research, he invented symptometric science and used it to save his life. Through research, Dr. Nardi discovered that some common foods are harmful to the human immune system, and that overconsumption can destroy stem cells. Stem cells govern the immune system and vital organs, like the liver, heart, and kidneys. Dr. Nardi's research offers cures for diseases, body aches, hair, and memory loss. He discovered by eating the right foods, necessary energy is created to help live a long, healthy life. Results from his incredible research is now available in the book, What to Consume, Mankind's Safest Consumables, now available through Amazon and Kindle. Listen to these verified Amazon customer reviews. 5 out of 5 stars. Very good information, mind-blowing. This book really opens your mind. It's a very short read. Once I started reading, I couldn't stop, so I finished it in one setting. I recommend this book for all. Thank you, Dr. Maxwell Nardi. Learn how to live a more healthy life today. Order What to Consume, Mankind's Safest Consumables by Dr. Maxwell Nardi at Amazon and Kindle.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. You with Abdul Shaheed, your certified scintimeter health coach, and also your host. If you have we have one person with their hand raised. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Hadia. You can go ahead and ask your question or make your comment. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question because the food that I looked up, which is high in copper, those foods, we don't eat those foods that they have a list of food high in copper.
Yes. What are those foods?
Dark chocolate.
You definitely don't eat chocolate.
No, nuts, grains, cashews, sunflower seeds.
Yeah, that's nut. That's hydrocyanuric acid and arsenic.
Mushrooms.
Yes, that has a whole lot of strong acid and poison. Mushrooms.
Raisins, hazelnuts, dried
fungus,
avocados, sesame
too much
seeds,
fat,
blackstrap molasses, almonds. We don't eat any of this.
And we certainly don't.
Cheese.
None of those things. What book are you looking in?
Well, you could just type in on Google.
Let's see, that information on Google didn't help you one bit, did it?
Nope.
You know where you can find copper?
No.
The therapeutic ginger beverage. When the last time you had the therapeutic ginger beverage?
About maybe 2 months. I haven't made it.
Well, you need to be making it because it's high in copper. That's why we use it every day. I drink it every day.
Yeah, I was drinking it every day too, but I had just recently stopped with it. I was drinking the ginger and the grapefruit every day.
Yes. See, it's not so much the copper. The copper has to be moved. It's an element. So is heavy? It's heavy. So what move copper? Alpha globulins. Our liver produce globulins, alpha, beta, and gamma, to move things around. It is the pushers. See, even after we have what we need, it has to go where it needs to go. If we don't produce alpha globulins, then copper will be stuck. It won't be in the joints, it won't be in the muscle because nothing is carrying it there. See, we have to learn how our body functions. So we have to make sure the liver is producing alpha globulin. Something could be blocking it.
Now I do drink ginger. I make ginger juice. I drink that every day. But
how do you make that? How do you make it?
The ginger with our water, and I forget the name of the sugar that I use. I always forget the name of that type of sugar. The only sugar that I use is the agave.
Yeah, agave nectar?
Yeah, agave. That's what I use.
Okay, but what do you do with the ginger? Do you blend?
I put it through a blender or through a food processor.
Yeah, so you follow the therapeutic ginger beverage recipe?
Well, the therapeutic ginger beverage, you use a blender, three different types of speeds. Yes. And you use the vinegar and you use the honey. But when I use it just for a beverage to drink, I just use the juice with the agave.
Yes, you can use the agave nectar rather than the ginger, rather than the honey and rice vinegar. You can use the agave nectar because it's already a monosaccharide. You don't have to reduce it. See, honey is a disaccharide. It's two sugar, disaccharide. It has to be converted to a monosaccharide. That's why we use the rice vinegar. But you can just use the agave nectar, but you need to blend it properly according to the direction because this is how the copper is released. That rotational force release the nutrients in the ginger. The nutrients, because it's a plant, the cellulose lock down all of the nutrients. This is why all plant food must be cooked. But if you cook the ginger, you also will eliminate the B vitamins. So you need the B vitamins as well because they are cofactor for producing many enzymes. All these things working together. But if you If you alter the recipe, you're not going to get the full benefit, because we need enzyme. That is the first thing that our cell produce, enzyme, to do their work, kind of like their work tools. And this is what has to happen. So we need the enzyme first. Our cell cannot do anything without an enzyme. We can't even nourish our cells without an enzyme called permease. Must be an enzyme there. So this is how it is. So we'll have a consultation with you, and then we'll set up one with Dr. Naughty, and then we'll get you what you need. Health requires maintenance and upkeep. This is what health requires. The human being is high maintenance, brothers and sisters, not low maintenance. We have been misled to believe that all we have to do is eat food, drink some water, and go to the bathroom a few times a day, and we'll be healthy. That does not work. There's no truth to that. We're made of carbon. Carbon tends to break down. And that's what we're made of, carbon. We're carbon-based, collagenic fiber, made of water and oil, with electrical energy, made of cells, 75 to 100 trillion of them. And they must all function. Over 200 different types of cells. Each one of them have a specialist. They're specialists. And those cells that replace our collagenic fiber are called fibroblasts. If you're not producing them, or you block them from doing their work, then you're literally deteriorating as you walk around. And then inertia will take over every bit of you, and then you won't be able to move. That's why you have a stroke. Copper is not moving. Then you won't be moving. You can exercise all you want. You can do breathing and inhaling exercise all you want. You can eat scientifically. It won't even matter. All of the rules of health must be satisfied. You can't stop learning. Always be learning. This is why we're a student at American School of Symptometry, so we can keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. There's more to learn. Keep studying. The Almighty sent us here. 50 years is nothing. We just beginning to figure out how to live on this planet. Then we die. What's that about? The Almighty created us to have a long life with our health. Not where somebody has to take care of us, take her to the bathroom, support us as we walk. Our body's not supposed to just fall apart. It is because we haven't been educated. So brothers and sisters, if you have a question about health, or question about stroke, or question about cancer, any of those basic questions about hypertension, because most of the answers that we have are misinformation. Food does not cure diseases. First thing a person wants to talk about is food. No, what happened after you eat? Do you have the enzyme to thoroughly digest what you're eating? Are you eliminating the health disruptors? All food have health disruptors. They have allergen, they have preservative, they have coal tar derivative, they have dyes, coloring. All these things are in the food. How do you separate them? How do you eliminate them? How are you cooking the food? What are you putting in the food? What kind of seasoning? What kind of spices? What kind of oil? What kind of salt? Many people are making all kinds of mistakes. And because for who we are and where we are, there's toxins everywhere. We have to always be removing these things from our blood. Blood impurity has to be removed. How you do that? You use subatomic particles. They're called particulates. Only thing you can use to remove them. Drugs won't do it. Herbs won't do it. Food won't do it. It adds more garbage to your blood. Every time we inhale the air has impurities, have fungus, pollutants in the air we breathe, in your car, in your home, in your office space, in the warehouse you go into, in the marketplaces you go to, pollutants in the air. It will wind up in your blood. What are you going to do to remove them? It is because we live on planet Earth, brothers and sisters, we always have to be doing something to remove the impurities in our blood. This is a day-by-day activity. What are you doing? And things will be getting stuck in your organs, in your tissue. How do you remove them? We have to keep the blood flowing so every part of our body will be absorbing blood impurities. You have to ionize them to keep things moving. This is the cost we pay for living on a toxic planet. This is where the Almighty put us. And we're created to live here. We just haven't been taught properly. So we fall into the booger traps. This is what happened to us. Now we have a science called symptomatic science, brother and sister, that can help us. And we have to become more knowledgeable. That's all. That's all that means. And we have a school now that can help us to do that. So if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question or make a comment. And we certainly appreciate you joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM360. Optimal Health on AM360. Brothers and sisters, please go to the website of the American School of Symptometry. There's 2 websites. And there's many articles posted there. Many articles that relate to the condition and the complaints that each one of us have. Read about the source of the problem. Your doctor would treat your symptom without knowing the source. What kind of sense is that? You ask the doctor, why did I have a stroke? He'll give you some hem-hard answer. Because you don't know. He doesn't know. So he won't tell you anything. Doctor, why do I have cataracts? Why I'm getting glaucoma? Will the surgery work? He doesn't know. He never questioned on what you're eating. The sugar in the fruits that block the capillary that nourish the eyes. He never would mention those. He never would question you on it. The fruit that you're eating. They have fungus, strawberry, blackberry, blueberry, mango. They will tell you to eat your fruits and vegetables without distinguishing between the fruits. And you might not have enzyme to digest them. You might not be producing fructokinase and fructosidase to break down the sugars in fruits. Then they're going to become residue or blockages, inert substance that's going to block motion, things from moving. This is what happened in every case, brothers and sisters. Then the DNA will become compromised. There are food that will eliminate the amino acid from our DNA. Do you know the foods that will do that? No, you don't. If the DNA is fragmented because 1 or 2 or 3 of the amino acids are compromised or missing, you can have cancer. Just by that, just by eliminating amino acid in your DNA. There's so much to this body that the Almighty put together for us. We have to learn how He did it and what science that govern it. Physics govern our anatomy and physiology, not organic chemistry. They produce drugs through chemistry. They adulterate the atom in a laboratory and produce something that have inert substance that will block motion when you take them, when I take them. Anything that slows down or prevent motion in our body, brother and sister, will compromise our health. We'll be going in the wrong direction. We'll be going in the wrong direction. So if you have a question or a comment to make, just raise your hand or unmute yourself, and you'll be able to ask your question or make your comment. I'm going to check the board, give you time to unmute and to ask your question. Anybody have a question?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Brother Rashid. How's it going?
Alhamdulillah. Doing well, my good brother. Doing
Thank
really
you for
well.
joining us this afternoon, this evening.
Yes, sir. I have a sister sitting here next to me listening, and she asked the question. She said, why do we have all these fruits if we can't eat them? The blueberries, the blackberries, the strawberries, and all. He said, where do they come from? If they're here, what do we do with them, and what are
Here's
they
a question
for?
for her. Are we the only creatures on the planet?
Thank you.
Or there are other creatures that need food too? Why is the human being so selfish? You think everything is for him?
Well,
it's not for us.
I want to hear from you, not from me.
You know, I'm going to tell you what a fruit is. Brother and sister, I'm going to tell you what a fruit is. A fruit is a pod that this plant produced to put all of its discarded products in. Thing that it doesn't need anymore. It doesn't recycle anything that's in that fruit because it doesn't need it.
So you tell me it's a garbage can, right?
It's a garbage waste basket. They can't go nowhere to use the restroom, so they create a pod to put all the garbage in it. And human being comes along, being who they are, and since it didn't kill them the first time they tried it, and they passed it on that habit to us.
Tastes good, huh?
Tastes good. Didn't kill them because of the sugars in it. And they didn't even have the enzyme to digest the sugar.
Right.
And that's why they have cataracts and glaucoma.
Yes, sir.
Macular degeneration of the eyes that blocks the capillary to nourish the eye. Mm-hmm. That's why they become diabetic. They can't even digest the sugar in the fruit. So why eat fruits? Here's a thought, Brother Rashid. We can get all of the nutrients and resources that we need from the vegetable. Do fruits have anything that vegetables don't have? No, they don't.
Right. Right.
So why eating fruit? You can be perfectly healthy not eating any fruit. Dr. Noor don't eat fruits. Is he dead?
Mm-hmm.
He's disease-free.
Right.
Fruit are problematic. And you don't know whether you're producing the enzyme to digest them or not.
Yes, sir.
So to ask the question, why is the food here? It is the reason that we eat food is our problem with diseases. Right. That's what we all have in common. We all eat food and we all have diseases because of eating food. No one have told us anything about the scientific selection of the food that we eat. Use science. And people also, Brother Rashid, have to eat for their condition. If you're diabetic and you're eating fruit, you're absolutely killing yourself. You can't even digest fructose. But you're eating it. Where do you think it's going? The sugar in the fruit. Your glucose level gonna be up to 700, 800. You can't digest sugar.
Right.
You can't digest fruit sugar. That is your problem. But you're still eating the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So if your glucose level goes up to 800, is it surprising? No. The glucose is circulating in your blood. The cells are not using it. They're not stimulated enough to use the glucose for energy. You cannot do that process. So something is blocking it. That's why you come to symptometry in 2 or 3 months or 4 months, you won't be diabetic anymore. And if you want to eat fruits, you select them scientifically. That's how you do it.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're asking for a problem. So you may be healthy today, Brother Rashid, but because you ate fruits all the time, then you be sick tomorrow.
Right. Another question she asked me, she didn't believe me when I told her this.
Okay.
She's picking up a lot of weight. I said, did anybody take some fat and put on your body? Where did the fat come from?
Yes. Where did the fat come from?
I mean, you know,
what was her answer?
she wanted to argue with me. You know, you don't know.
Tell her where the fat come from, Brother Rashid.
Come over, talk to me, brother.
Here's where the fat came from.
I need some backup.
Well, here's the backup. I'm here to back you up because it is the fat. She cannot produce the enzyme to digest saturated fat, and she consumes saturated fat. So if you don't have the enzyme, then that saturated fat goes under your arm, it goes around your waist, it goes on your butter, it goes on your stomach.
Right.
The cells got to put it somewhere.
And where that steak at? What you do with that steak you ate, right?
There's enzyme we have to produce to break down protein. We got to produce pepsin. We got to produce permease. And our pancreas must produce carboxylpeptidase, pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, elastin, lipase, intestinal lipase, and pancreatic lipase. That's to break down protein, fats, and oil. Then you got the liver must produce emulsification enzyme. Are you doing all of that? No, you're not. Why? Because the liver is compromised. You're eating chaotically. I don't want to be the one to tell you that, but I have to tell the truth.
That's right.
So you cannot digest fats. Come to symptometry, produce the enzyme to digest fat, and magically your weight will go back to normal. Brother Rashid,
yes,
I'm
sir.
speaking to you. I'm not speaking to her.
I understand.
No woman should weigh 250 pounds. Should weigh over 250 pounds. I don't care how tall she is. She does not have the frame to carry the weight over 250 pounds. She's not created to carry that much weight. So if a person, I don't care how tall she is, 7 foot, 6 feet, and all that, and she weigh over 250 pounds, she has a problem, a health problem. I'm not going to ask you how tall she is. I'm just making a statement of facts.
She's listening.
Here's another thing. Here's another statistic, Brother Rashid.
Yes.
No person that's overweight has ever reached 100.
Right.
There's no record.
None.
Not one. What should that tell you? We should not be overweight. We should not be underweight. Either way is a problem.
Yes.
It's not going to just pop and go away. There's a source. There's a reason. Sometimes it goes to the reason, goes to the source. We're not producing the enzyme to digest saturated fat. That's most of the time the reason. So since the cell must put the fat somewhere, we're going to find a spot. You can exercise all day, but if you're not producing the enzyme, that's where the problem lies.
Yes, sir.
You can go on all kind of crazy diet, eat for your blood type, or the keto diet, eat only plants.
Yes, sir.
Eat only protein. You can choose any diet you want. It won't matter. They even have this prescription now, Brother Rashid, to give yourself a shot to lose weight. How ridiculous is this?
Ozempic,
when
yes,
every pharmaceutical drug have inert substance that will cause blockages and impede motion. Impede in motion. Why? Because they have a kill and halogen that stop things from moving. There's a lot we can say about that. That would be the reason why the person would be sicker. And they will have side effects from taking the diabetic, not the diabetic, but the diet medication to lose weight.
Yes, sir.
She has another question?
No, that was just the only two things she's been bugging me about. How do you know what is this, what is that? But I just want to say this particular thing. I think what happens to most of us, we tend to forget that we have to read, we have to study, we have to research, we have to really look into the types of information that you are providing us with. And unfortunately, that laziness, that's this inability to want to concentrate or read or study or just to try to figure our own selves out is a problem. And there's a reason for that. So if you could just share a little bit on that, I think that'll kind of help a lot of people who are listening.
Absolutely.
Because I know I do listen all the time, but I go straight to the research. I'm digging deep. I need to understand what it is that you just said and what the importance is and how does it benefit me. So that's
Absolutely.
just me. Everybody don't have that thought process like that. But if you can share why we don't, I think that's something we all need to know.
Absolutely. I certainly will, Brother Rashid. And we thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, my brother.
For that. Because here's what it is, brothers and sisters. The Almighty put us together. The most divine engineering feat ever. We just don't understand what we have here. We are the intersection between the seen and the unseen. Who are we? Where are we? And what are we? Those three questions must be answered in order to for us to get our health back. Our mind is connected to our brain, so we can make excellent choices. Brothers and sisters, if we're not producing neurons and neurotransmitter, our mind is going to have a problem. It won't be able to make good choices. You won't have discipline. And a lot of other things we won't have. We won't be focused on things. We won't have goals and be able to meet our goals. It is neurons that operate our brain and our body. All these things are connected. Health starts in our mind. It's a mindset, because the mind makes all of our decisions, good or bad. There are consequences for every one of them. So we're in charge. And we're responsible for our health. We're responsible for our body. It's a gift. But if we don't learn to take care of it, we won't be around long. When a person reaches 60 or 70, we just begin to figure out life. And then we die, or we get disabled. Someone got to take care of us. We need support. We got to walk with a walker or cane, or we bedridden. That's not how it's supposed to be, brothers and sisters. We're making mistakes. And because of our mistakes and not correcting them, we repeat them. We're loaded with diseases. And then we go to someone who should have the knowledge. We think they do, but they don't. And they take advantage of us. They get paid, brother and sister. They get paid. And we know nothing about how to reverse our diseases. Even the law of this country has set up alternative for us, and we don't know anything about them. Who's ever heard of the New York senator named Dr. Royal S. Copeland? He lived between 1868 and 1938. What is the significance of this doctor who was a senator? And why other doctors do not talk about him? He was instrumental in getting homeopathic medicine as a therapeutic in the United States. He was instrumental in getting Panamanian product to be licensed for use in the United States in 1938. And no one have died from using them. This same person was a trained physician. He also was the president of the New York City Board of Health. He was the dean of the Homeopathic Medical School of New York University. But he studied homeopathic medicine, a discipline of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the person who came up with the idea of sucursion. First person on the planet that did that. And because of sucursion, it allowed human beings to be able to reverse their diseases, cure diseases, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm talking about. Because he used a process called sucursion, taking a natural product from Mother Nature, from the ecosystem, and succursed it to produce energy. First time our cell had energy. We're energy dependent, brothers and sisters. We have diseases because our cells are not able to produce enough energy. And we depend on energy. We must produce energy around the clock. Here, a man create a therapeutics from sucursion to produce energy from a natural product. Whereas homeopathic medicine take organic chemistry. That means you take the substance from Mother Nature, take it into a laboratory, and adulterate it. You change the electrons, or you add electrons. So it's not natural anymore. Now we have inert substance that will cause motion to dissipate inside of you. Though inert substance, we know because they are made of a kill that remove hydrogen from the person's cell. And they also have halogen, a mineral salt that will eliminate enzyme from the person. How can you be healthy taking pharmaceutical? You cannot. But of course, they had a scheme to make money, and they're still doing it today. So this doctor, who was a senator, got Democrats and Republicans together to pass a law that you can use particulates to treat your disease, to reverse them. No one since 1938, since the license of use of particulate, have died. But pharmaceutical drugs, people die every year. 750,000 people die annually from the legal use of pharmaceutical drugs. And nobody say nothing. And we don't even know this exists. It's in the law that you can use a particulate to treat your symptom. It don't just treat symptom. It's put energy back in the cells. and the cell can do everything else after that. We use particularly to remove sludge, garbage, encroachment, engorgement, entanglement from the cell because of eating food and being exposed to radiation, radioactive isotope from the sun. And certain food that we have toxic metal, like cereal. We eat cereal for breakfast. All of them have metals that deactivate enzyme. Do you know this? Have you done research on it? All you got to do is Google it. Ask the question, what metal are in my morning cereal that I eat for breakfast? They'll tell you. They use toxic metal to preserve the prescription that you use, the vaccine that you're using. Toxic metal deactivate enzyme that your cell trying to produce to take care of you. Then you take a vaccine, then you take pharmaceutical drug that work against you. Organic chemistry produce substance in a laboratory to take you counterclockwise, which is the direction and the rotation of the earth, counterclockwise. What are you doing to offset the counterclockwise motion of the rotation of the earth? We must go clockwise. We can't go backwards in time. We must go forward. So you'll be going against nature. That's why the disease will become more and more chronic, and you take the drugs and the vaccine. This is verifiable science. That's all we're using here. And we explain it to you to explain why we're sick. If we have a disease anywhere in our body, brothers and sisters, sooner or later, it's going to become a mental illness because our brain will be affected. We won't be in the position to produce neurons and neurotransmitters to make excellent decisions. We will always be arguing with each other, fighting each other, disputing each other. Just a matter of time. A human being cannot heal with negative energy. That's what's in the drug, negative energy. It forces the body to do something. So right away, your condition will get worse, and you will have additional conditions called side effects. All pharmaceuticals produce side effects for that reason, because of the alkyl and halogen. And they have to have preservatives. What do they use? Formaldehyde, aluminum, mercury, toxic metal again, that deactivate what? Enzyme that your cell must use as their work tool to keep you healthy. But because of your choices, health is denied. I know a lot of people can't take this, brother and sister. So you're special for hanging on and hanging around and listening to me. Most people can't accept the truth. They've been lied to. They've been hoodwinked. They've been had. They've been taken advantage of for money. When they had the truth, 1938 in this country. Have you ever heard of particulars? No, you haven't. Why not? The New York Senator, Dr. Royer S. Copeland, 1868, 1938, instrumental in legally bringing homeopathic products to the United States in 1938 and writing them into federal law. Check it out. You don't know anything about them. All you think is available for us is to use pharmaceutical drugs and vaccine. We're going to keep being used, bamboozled. It's up to us, brothers and sisters. Our health is in our own hands. The Almighty put everything inside of us to reverse every condition. It's up for us to learn about how to do it. We have a school called the American School of Symptometry, teaching people like myself and others who are interested in getting advanced information about how to take care of the precious creation that afford us to have life on this planet. And life more abundantly, to keep living and keep living and keep living. That's why he sent us here, to make a difference. You're going to die at 50, 60? What have you learned? Not enough, brother and sister. That's why we're stuck in time. We're stuck. When the Almighty put every solution in each and every one of us. We carry the genes of our ancestors. What's in the gene? You don't even know. We're connected to it, but you don't know because health is denied. Our genes have all of the knowledge that we need to make advancement for ourselves as a people and as a community, as a human race. That's only one race, human race. Don't get it twisted. And we're here and we're sent here to make a difference. So we'd like to hear from you. What do you think about it? Well, we have all of these laws passed 1938 to use particulate, and only a few people know about particulates. Sister Heidi, you're going to go ahead and open your mic and make your comment or ask your question.
I have a comment. My criteria of purchasing food, packaged food, is that if there's more than 3 lines of ingredients, I'm not buying it. You don't need 9 lines of unidentifiable ingredients to make bread.
Absolutely.
So 3 lines is my limit.
But here's the thing. By law, whatever they take you to the supermarket, they have to spread with pesticide, herbicide, all these things. They got to spread with something. You go to the produce section, they have the sulfite that lists mist. We think it's water, but it's not water. It's to keep those things looking fresh, nice and fresh, so we can keep buying them. So they spray them with sulfites, and we consume them. We take those things home and rinse them off. When they're microbes glued to them, worms, eggs glued to them. You don't see them, but they're there. They're radioactive isotope because the sun is always spewing out radioactive isotope from the sun, and the plants are always pulling radioactive isotope from the ground. So you eat a plant raw, shame on you. All plant must be cooked, brother and sister. All plants on planet Earth produce poison to survive. Chlorophyll, ammonia, ferulic acid. All are poison to a human. And many plants produce more poison than that. See, plants are different from humans. They have evolved to survive, and they're good at it. Their job is to produce oxygen for us, not just food. We have to select them scientifically to choose the one to eat for food. You eat the wrong one, you're going to be poisoned. That's what a human being is. We're a poison, self-poisoning tank, always poison ourselves. That's why we get sick. We eat the wrong food. No one can tell us anything. If the food is here, I must eat it. That's how we think. Some of us, or most of us, we are sick because of the food. We don't even have enzyme to digest the food. We eat things that's indigestible. You can't digest corn, but you eat it. It come out just like it goes in, and you still eat it. You squander all your enzyme to break down the servings of corn. You don't know how many enzymes you waste trying to digest it. You can't digest something that's indigestible. I don't care how much you try, but we still eat it. It composes cyanide. Corn, cyanide. Do you have a method to neutralize the cyanide? Do you have a method to produce the enzyme to digest corn? That's a special enzyme. About 1% of the people on the planet has that enzyme. Do you have it? No, you don't. That's just one example, brother and sister. What kind of water do you drink? Tap water? You cook with tap water? You drinking tap water? What's in tap water? Chemical, chlorophyll, fluoride, lead. It's not just Flint, Michigan that have problem with water. It's all over the country. Oh, bottled water, I can't pay for that. That costs too much money. Well, you don't want to invest in your own health. Then you wonder why you're sick. We got to be better than that, brother and sister. We got to teach our children and grandchildren, and great-grandchildren better than that. They must have a healthy brain that will produce a healthy mind to make excellent choices. So you're right, Sister Hadia. If it got more than 3 lines on it, don't buy it. It's loaded with garbage, preservative. And if you buy it, you must know how to neutralize those things. This is what symptometry teaches us. You should have a method to neutralize what's in it. We're on a toxic planet. You can't get rid of all the toxic. We're not going back in the Stone Ages. We live in the most advanced time in the history of mankind. And we use chemical for everything. Man have learned how to adulterate the atom to produce all kinds of products. So we must have a method to remove these things from our blood when we are exposed. That's what maintenance and upkeep is all about. It's a day-by-day activity. So brothers and sisters, if you have any question or comment to make, we love to hear from you. We love to hear from you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
I just wanted to confirm on something you just said, and I think a lot of us as parents and grandparents don't pay any attention to. Here in St. Louis, Missouri, they shut down 2 elementary schools. Schools have been around for a long time. Regarding they have those little faucet, little machines they have in the school where you drink water.
Yes.
Push a little button. And children were getting really, really sick, and they couldn't trace it back to anything. And they traced this stuff back to children taking showers, children drinking water, the chemical content. They found out it was all type of things in the fluoride, chloride, and lead in the water, and they had they had to shut this place down. And they were cooking food in the cafeteria for these children. They was using all these different components. But as you said, we don't even know what our children are drinking, and our children don't know what they're drinking. So it's incumbent upon us to become knowledgeable enough to know, protect your baby, protect your grandchildren. So if you could just share a little bit about that, because everywhere we go, we find some issues. So I know we're saying a lot. I know you're saying a whole lot, but at some point in time, we have to stop and pay attention, because our children are being taken off the planet, and we're contributing to it, shall I say?
You're absolutely correct, Brother Rashid. We're producing our own criminal in our own community. If we don't take care of our children while they are yet in the womb, that's where it starts. Because we can build a firm foundation for health when the baby is in the womb. That's what the mother's responsibility is. But since the mother is eating chaotically, how are you going to produce a healthy baby? And most pregnancies in our community are not planned. It's an accident, or it happened. Even the father have weak sperm because they smoke marijuana, or they're drinking liquor. You think you're gonna have a healthy, strong sperm smoking marijuana? Oh, it's natural weed. Yeah, it's natural, all right. It has 12 alkaloids that will compromise your DNA. And then that's gonna produce a child. And you wonder why your child is so rebellious and why they're in the streets and they stay up all night. They can't sleep at night. They're not producing neurons, and they're not producing neurotransmitters, all 12 of them, and keeping them in balance. That's what your responsibility is, to teach them how to do that. But if you don't know, how can you teach them? Is the mother breastfeeding the baby? No, she's not. She don't want to be tied down breastfeeding no baby. So now you take a baby formula from a man who don't know how to produce breast milk. There's no breast milk that ever been duplicated by man. So what's in the bottle? What's in these formulas? You don't even ask the question. As a mother, I'll be concerned. What is my baby drinking? Supposed to be drinking breast milk from you. But you chaotic eating, most of the baby don't want to drink the breast milk. They won't even want to feed on it because it's too acidic. Because no one is helping you to choose the food to eat. Garbage in, garbage out. The nutrients that you're taking will be circulating in your blood. It will be the same blood that produced the baby. So the baby come here with a weak foundation, Brother Rashid, starting off from the back, a weak foundation. Then you allow them to be vaccinated. Weaken them even more as they grow. Brother and sister, we've been had, hoodwinked. We have to become more knowledgeable. That's why we have a school now called the American School of Symptometry, teaching people like myself and others who wants to know, who got tired of being sick and was tired of going to the doctor to be treated. And once you have the knowledge, they can't take it away from you. They can kill you, but I'm not worried about that. At least we die for a reason, on a mission. I'm on a mission. And I'd like for some of you to join me so we can wake up our people to produce a healthy brain that will produce an excellent mind. We can do much better than what we're doing. We have to help our children. And we have to teach them. How can we teach them something that we don't know? So what diet a mother should be on when she's pregnant? We have a mother that thinks that going through morning sickness every morning when she's pregnant is normal. It's not normal. You're not supposed to be throwing up because you're pregnant. Something is wrong. It is not normal to have a C-section when you're having a baby. The mother is traumatized, the baby is traumatized. How are you going to take care of the trauma when the baby get here? You don't know. You're going to send them to the psychology, so they put them on the drugs again and label them in school? Brother and sister, we got a long way to go. We're responsible, adult, human being. And we must seek knowledge. It starts with our health, everything. Our health is our wealth, brothers and sisters. This is the best thing we can pass on to our children and grandchildren. Health. Teach them what you know. Learn more if you don't know enough. If you have a disease, reverse it and tell them how you did it. There's no incurable disease. Stop going to the wrong people telling you that you're going to die. How'd they know? Yeah, they're going to kill you because what's in the drug, that's what it would do. At some point in time, they're going to tell you, we've done all we can do for you. That's after they fill you up with their drugs. Brothers and sisters, I'm not down in doctors. They're good what they're good at, which is emergency and trauma. If you have an emergency, dial 911. But if you want to heal the body from a disease, call symptometry. We're experts at repairing DNA and repairing RNA to reverse double misalignment. The reason why people have diseases, why they have cancer, why they have tumors. It didn't just pop out of nowhere. And most diseases are preventable, brothers and sisters. This is what we have to teach our children. They are preventable. We have to understand where we are. A very toxic planet. Poison, toxic, everywhere. Sister Hadia, you're going to have the last word?
I'm sorry for keep interrupting, but I'm a school nurse. And every day from pre-K to the 8th grade, students are coming into my office complaining about headaches and stomach aches. And this is all day. And I keep telling the teacher, there's nothing I can do. I have nothing to give to them for that. Why you keep sending to me? I tell the kids, stop eating purple, blue, green, and orange, green food.
Yes,
those are causing headaches and stomach aches. And then I ask them, we are providing breakfast and lunch for these children. When I ask them, what did you have for lunch? They say waffles. Like waffles, that's not lunch food. And that's not going to hold you till you get home. When your mother get home from work, be able to cook some food for you. So the nutrition in our schools are not sufficient. Even one time I left home my guava and I went to the cafeteria to ask them if they had some type of sweetener. The only sweetener they had in that cafeteria was Sweet and Low and Equal.
Wow.
But these are children. This is a children's school. So the nutrition that these children are, the politicians are fighting over, cutting out the school lunches and breakfast. They need to cut them out because they're horrible meals. The children need to bring nutritional food from home because they're not serving that in the schools. They're killing the kids. And then they'll have a pantry where they open up at like 1 o'clock for the kids to come purchase items. And every package they buy has some type of blue, green, yellow, orange, or purple dye in it, and some type of monosodium glutamate in it.
Absolutely amazing.
Everything that these children are buying, either it's packaged with Doritos or ramen noodles. And this is what the children are eating every single day. They're coming to me with stomach aches and headaches, and I'm giving them ice to put on their head. I'm telling them to drink some water and go to the bathroom.
It's incredible.
So they're killing our children at a very young age.
Absolutely. Taking their brain power from them. They cannot think, cannot focus.
They cannot.
Concentrate. How are they going to
learn?
They cannot. They're not prepared for learning.
No, they cannot.
Of our irresponsibility, brothers and sisters, we have to take charge of our children. From birth on, before they're born, we have to ask our mother, what are they eating? If they can't produce breast milk, come to Symptometry. We'll help you to produce breast milk that's proper for the baby. If you don't nourish the baby, then you have potential for cancer, breast cancer, if you don't nurse the baby. But we don't want to follow nature. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it, but we're violating the natural laws and expect to be healthy. Not going to happen. So you're absolutely right, Sister Hadia. We have to take more responsibility what our children are eating before they go to school. We have to be responsible for providing food for them.
They're fighting for school to have breakfast and lunch for these kids. And it's the most unnutritional meal that they eat. It's terrible. It's
what you eat.
Health. I tell these children all the time, stop eating these packaged items. It has blue, green, yellow, and orange and purple, and stop eating these packages with these salts. They have Roman noodles. These kids are eating every day. They put the salt in the noodles and put it in the microwave, and that's what the kids are eating for snacks.
Absolutely amazing.
We're killing these children.
You expect them to learn.
No,
they're good students.
They don't even look normal. Children don't even look normal.
Absolutely amazing.
No, the body shapes are not normal.
No, they're
obese. The texture of their hair is not normal.
Out of balance.
It's dry. Yes. The stomach are bloated.
Amazing.
Yeah, these are children, and this is it's in our schools, our public schools. They're killing our children.
Well, there's more of a need for symptometry and symptomatic science. Brothers and sisters, we can get the knowledge. The knowledge is here. Dr. Norton has written many books on health and how to produce healthy, intelligent children, how to do it from the very beginning. And what we have to do, we have to teach our children. We are responsible. The parent is responsible for teaching children.
And providing for them. I have a little
Exactly, providing everything for them.
Yeah. She won't eat because she doesn't like the food. She's from Africa. She's used to porridge, a certain type of heavy foods. So she won't eat the food in the school. So she comes to me with a stomach ache. Why do you have a stomach ache? Do you eat breakfast? No. Eat lunch? No. I don't like the food. So that means your stomach is hurting because you're not eating.
Exactly.
So I go to a teacher to get something for her to eat just to sustain her to get home. And she gives her Oreo cookies.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, Sister Hadia, we've reached the end of our program. We got to get ready for the next show that come on after us. We certainly appreciate you joining.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
And we're going to do our best to keep this going and keep talking about the school that's available, the information and knowledge that's available on the website at American School of Symptometry. Please go there, brothers and sisters. Their website is amsos.org. Also, there's another website there called symptometry.com. Explain particulars, how long they've been licensed in the United States and what they do, how they produce energy for the cell. All of these things, how to reverse every condition. There's no incurable disease. We have to know what we have to do. We have to know about the health group. All of this information is there. You can call me if you have a need for a certified symptometry health coach that can help people to reverse their condition and get back to normalcy. You can call me at 678-572-7269. You may also send me an email at shaheed2@gmail.com. And Shaheed is spelled S-H-A-H-E-E-D. Brothers and sisters, we have this program every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And this program is called The Science of Your Health and Your Wealth Learning Lab. And one of our guests today with us, Brother Rashid Abdul Salam, he's the host of this program. And I'm one of his guests and regular presenter. And we talk about not only health, but we talk about wealth. Can't have health without wealth, can't have wealth without health, because sooner or later they'll part. So brothers and sisters, we ask you to come to this program. If you need the call in number to the program, we also can get you the link. Just send me a text or email and we'll forward you the Zoom link. But if you want to just join us by phone, call in to this number, 646-931-3860. And the meeting ID is 895-0850-9060 pound. And the passcode is 958125 pound to join us, to listen and participate. Please join us so we can learn more and work together on a community level to reverse our situation, not only our health, but the health of our community. We have to reverse those things too, put it back to normalcy. This is what we have to do, brother and sister. And every Saturday and Sunday morning, we have another program called the Morning Tylene, the Learning Circle. You can join us by dialing into free conference call, and that number is 267-876-3648. And the passcode is 289-2322 pound. And that time is from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we talk more about health. We talk about current event. We talk about things that affects our and impacts our community. Please join us. Brothers and sisters, we thank you for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here on AM360 and the program being Optimal Health with your host, Instructor Abdul Shaheed, your certified symptometry health coach. There's another program that's coming on after this program here on AM360 called Mali Ali Kuli High. And the host is Imam Abdul Aziz. He's the Imam of Masjid Adam from Bronx, New York. And their motto is, we are together under any and all circumstances. So please stay tuned to that program, brothers and sisters. Thank you so very much for joining us here on Optimal Health on AM360. We greet everyone with the greeting of peace in the most excellent language. Salam alaikum, peace be unto you. Thank you.
Alaikum assalam.
Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم